hit it side. The one thing that you can say definitively about golf is that it is impossible to stay the same level at golf. Everybody, Jack Nicklaus, Tiger Woods, everybody has had ups and downs. And the easiest way to have a down is if you used to play once a week and practice twice a week, and all of a sudden you don't do either and you play once a month. And today we're going to work with some folks that wish they played more than they do and used to be a lot better at golf, but you can still improve your technique and catch up with where you used to be or even maybe surpass it. We're here today with my old buddy Sean Hillis. We went to play in the Nicklaus Cup at Grand Cypress. Now, how many years ago, because you got a couple little ones that ain't so little anymore, so how many years ago was that we represented 2/4 of the English turn team in the Nicklaus Cup at Grand Cypress, which was
15 years ago?
Ton of fun.
2011, 2012?
That sounds about right, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I started English turn in 09, and they asked me, hey, would you go out of town? And I went, sign me up, man. We had some fun, but you haven't got to play that much lately.
No, yeah.
I attend, what, 20 times a year?
The last 5 years, I basically play golf from when the Masters starts. They talking about the Masters. I get the bug.
The bug, sure.
I like to play in tournaments, and so I enter a couple tournaments and play in the summer. But after September, when the weather starts to get nice, my clubs go in the closet. It's just crazy. And so
what's been going on the course?
So.
You had that qualifier at home course now. I was disappointed.
Yeah. So my problem is that I don't play or practice, and I fall victim to social media golf stuff.
God bless you.
So for 6 months I'm not touching a club, and
I'm
watching all these videos on things to do.
Lay down moves, super lag.
So I have all these thoughts in my head of what to do, and meanwhile I'm not even swinging. So when I go, it's like I don't even know what to do. Yeah. You know, I've always.
So where'd the ball go in the round? Like when you hit it solid, it didn't go straight. It went where?
Oh, I was topping it off the tee. I was blocking
What about just think of an iron shot that you flushed and it just went someplace besides the green?
Long and left.
Long and left. Okay.
You know.
So right down that white line.
Okay.
And start about, about that distance, a little less than a foot from here, because that's where that line goes, and then we'll see what's up.
Tell me when.
Oh, when? So what was the lowest your handicap ever was?
Ever?
Yeah.
I don't know, +2 maybe.
Yeah, there you go. See?
You know.
So people think that once you learn how to play, right? You could really play when you played good. So that it's never going to leave you. And Big Don, who was never wrong, said, nobody owns this game, nobody.
I'll tell you what, that was my belief up until 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, because probably for a while you had some stickiness to the good golf, but now it's,
Yeah, it's.
But there's the long and left right there, right? That was solid, but long and left. When you hit one that feels like a good representation, even if that was it, let us know. We're going to look at it.
I don't know. Where did that even go?
Yeah, they're going long and left. Let's look at them. You tell me they're going long and left, and they wind up going long and left. Why should we see a whole bunch more of them? Take a look at this one here. Your signature showing takeaway right there. Set it, and little out. Stays out in front of you. So, like when you haven't seen somebody swing in a long time, it's a lot like Duval in his prime, where, the club got to like right there without a whole bunch of turn. You probably developed that because you swung too far inside out, like lots of people do when they're young and they get decent at golf, and you're going to swing less inside out, making this backswing, and a little laid off and a little arch. That's your signature. I just bet you it just doesn't connect to this plane as good as it used to. Just a little high right there. Not bad, not bad, not bad. And You feel like it's going to go right, and then you give it that little. See, this looks the worst, right? Like if you just look at these two positions, right? Like people always wonder, like the folks watching this, like everybody's got a pretty good camera in their pocket now. You know?
Yeah.
So you video yourself and you look at it. What should I work on? I don't want to take a lesson, right? I got social media, but I don't know what to listen to. Watch your swing and take the position that looks the least like a tour player. That doesn't look anything like a tour player, right? So why are you so jumbled up right there? And like, you know, because the club wasn't quite where it's supposed to be here, and you're trying to find a way to get under it and on top of it at the same time, which is hard to do both of those things. Go ahead and hit another one. I'm gonna watch them over here. It's not that bad though, you know. It's not like you forgot how to play or swing.
I feel like I'm coming over the top a little bit.
Yeah. So when I give a lesson and somebody's not hitting it good, I could start. It's 4 or 5 things. I could start anywhere I wanted to, but let's set up to the ball. Let's start at the one that we were looking at, right? That didn't really look right. I'm screwing that. You see, this is part of the problem right here. This right here, right? Get to right there and hold it, right? I gave a lesson in episode 4 that I had to do the opposite of this. You just had y'all stand 10 feet away from each other. And so what does that feel like? To keep your tailbone ahead of your neck bone like that and have the club over there. That feels ridiculous.
Yeah, it feels like I need to do a lot of yoga.
Now watch, stay right there. Stay right there, promise?
Okay, yeah.
Look at the screen. No, the hit screen. Okay? It should feel a little bit like they planted a little Italian tree right here. You were trying to hit it over it, right? You would use your back to use your extension like this to hit the ball over it. You looked in the video, and then when I pushed you around, you looked like you were trying to hit a low hook. You know, you wasn't. I'm just saying. I would just say, what would a high fade feel like body-wise? All right?
When I'm swinging good and playing well, I'm hitting a high cut.
Okay, so I want you to feel like you're hitting a high cut.
Yeah.
And the higher the better. So that went 64 foot high with an 8-iron at 86 miles an hour, just to show you here. If you ever go any place where there's a little TrackMan simulator or something like that, you go on TrackMan right here, look at this. You can go to Optimizer, and it's saying it's got to at least go pretty much 90 feet. Upper side of mid-trajectory at that speed is like 105 foot high, and that ball's going 65 foot high. So let's pick a cloud out, and let's see what you do to hit over the cloud. A little more extension, a little bit more. 92 feet higher and more cut. See, that ball drew. It's no surprise that it's drawn, but I'm just saying, try to hit a high cut. Just from the ground up, like the left leg kept your shoulder away from you. So what you've got right there, right, and that's the shot you kind of were telling me about. I call that a wraparound draw. Like your body that should be going, boom, is going, like this. And that just wraps the club face around the ball.
That's why it feels like it's coming over the top.
Yeah, but even though from the top, especially one swing ago, like the one you hit 92 feet was pretty decent, but through the ball, not so much. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do so you're not so surprised. It's going to be like this. I'm going to try to see where this hand is? So this hand's right under your left chest. I'm trying to pull it away from this camera right here.
Okay.
Right? Pull it away, and I'm making your butt go toward that camera. Now, you're going to be like this when I start doing it, so it's going to be, you're going to feel the around part of it too.
Okay.
But basically, you're trying to hump this way while you pull the upper body away from this camera.
Okay.
And I'm going to help you in real time at regular speed.
Regular speed?
Oh, yeah, don't mind me.
Tell me when.
Oh, anytime. I don't need to know. If I was only just a little stronger.
10 minutes ago, your cameraman would have been killed.
It hit the screen. So now at least you get to see what this looks like here. So I have to move this camera, get it a little more face on. But so what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to take my hand that's right here, right? I'm trying to pull it up and around that way, more or less, while this goes this way. And so I'm pushing, look, I got one hand here pushing this way, up and out to the right, and this one's pulling that way. And in the process of doing that, I'm trying to keep doing two things ideally. One would be tailbone, which is about right there, to neck bone. I'm trying to put you, so that's 16 degrees of, what they call tilt, right, like this. But your coconut could still be further back, right? If I had three hands, I'd have one hand on the side of your face, so your head, see how it kind of goes forward too fast? See how much better that finish looks? That finish looks good, like a regular Sean finish. Okay, go ahead and set up again. What I need is a backhoe. This backhoe can move you. That's the feeling right there.
Okay.
Try to relax while I'm doing this and just let your head normal look at the ball. So watch the more or less face on. I got to move that camera, but this is, you've seen enough golf to know that looks pretty good. Now, here's the interesting thing, right? Look at the club face. I'm not telling you to do anything with the club face. You're not trying to do anything with the club face. You're too busy going, Jesus, Brian's going to break me in half. But the face was where? Wide open. If your body does this action, it can literally help you keep the face from slamming closed. No way you could overdo it, Sean. So from the top, to go all the way to the top, the whole downswing, this is one whole downswing move. You don't have to wait till halfway down, like I do with some people. No, you can do it from the jump. Higher, right? 105.
Better?
So, yes. So now watch. We're going to tie these two things together here. This club face and the body. Way better body here. Way better body. Yeah, that's very good. Watch this club face. So because your body was doing some little weird little, it would go, you were a little out, right, in your downswing. So you had to kind of work your body this way to not hit a pull. And then you started hitting right shots. You just added this to keep it down. So you had like two things going on. Look at that club face right there. So that's a ton of closed in that club face right there. We want it to either look like just like the line or this way to the line some. So I'll show you where that is, and that'll, it'll give you like a pose point, right? When you're hitting balls, I know, like, you don't get to hit them, but you're gonna hit some, right? Yeah. You would go, okay, here's that spot Brian said. And to get the club face to do what I'm gonna show you, the body will sort of organize around it. So go ahead and set up. Put the club on the other side of the ball. Feel like you've done your deal already. Now your job is, while I'm pulling your arms, keep your butt forward. Here we go. Turn your chest. See the face right there?
Yeah.
See, you can see your wear spot? Mm-hmm. That face was like that.
Okay.
You're trying to get that thing to look right back at you.
Okay.
So do a little pose on the side of the ball for me like that. No, side, just back up 6 inches. Set up right there. So you can get to that spot and hold it. Just make like a little 50-yard wedge swing. The shaft's still on an angle, but your wrist, this. So again, it's a big enough deal that if you do that, even on days where you don't feel like the body's quite, doing all this crazy, it'll still keep the ball from going left. Let's see it. Thought that was decent. There we go. Coming out the other side, still a little spun. So you got two things you can do. You can do the left-handed version or the right-handed version. Here's the left-handed version. Some point you're coming down, you're going to have the back of your glove kind of, toward the the ground, because you have your wrist like this at the top anyway, right? Let me see that hand again. So, at some point, you're going to have your wrist like this. You want it like this so you can give it a little flick as you're hitting it.
Okay.
See, the more you do that, you're going to wind up doing this.
Okay.
But you give it a little of this. First of all, you get a little more speed out of it, and a little more height, because this is going to go lower, and you got a chance at what I call Spider-Man left hand, right? These fingers are on that plane, but the web that comes out of that hand right there, right? All right, now, the right hand, so put the club in your left hand. The right hand standing on the side of a fish tank full of marbles, and you're just going to scoop you were doing this. You were going, push the marbles in and spin the marbles. You're going to go scoop the marbles, gather up the marbles, and go, look at how many marbles my hand can hold. So if your right hand's like this, and your left hand's in Spider-Man, the face can't be as spun closed. Even though trying to do it, that's the best shot you hit. Cut a little bit, went higher. Try to fix one thing right here. So I'm going to get the lower body first. Now put your upper body where you want it, which is going to be probably more over here. It's out of whack. So your first homework assignment, what you do is you go up against a wall and you go, okay, if the ball was right here, be aiming at that lamp or whatever in your house, right? And just booty into the wall and start feeling what straight is, because yours is kind of like this.
Okay.
Because now it's like this. Now your upper body has to be like that, and you're already all crunchy poo.
Okay.
So another thought would be taking your belt buckle and turning it to either, you have your ball pretty far forward, which I like. I'd say my belt buckle had a little laser, definitely behind the ball. Belt buckle pointing behind the ball. And here we go, one more through here. Spider-Man left hand, gather up the marbles with the right hand like that.
Okay.
As weird as that feels. You know who's the king of that? Scheffler. Does it better than anybody in golf. He's strong as an ox. It was literally the last thing I ever learned to do that I had never done before. I mean, I probably did it when I didn't know I was supposed to do it, right? But I didn't do it on purpose. And you know of all places where I learned to do it?
Where?
Grand Cypress. A few years after that, when I got in the top 100, they used to have these things. I don't know if they're still going to have them, but the magazine industry is shrinking. We would always have these little once-a-year get-togethers. So we went to Grand Cypress one year, and I got there early, and I went and looked around the golf academy, and the guy showed me their little 3D system, and long story short, he liked everything I did except that. So he walked me over to one of these poles and put my hand up against the wall like this and said, that's where it needs to go. So what I told myself is when I get back to English Turn after this trip, I'm going to go to that, main side of driving range, that flag that's like 80 yards out there. And I'm going to just take my little 6-iron, 7-iron, whatever teaching club. I'm going to do this move until I can finish there, run out of gas right there, so I'm not hitting it very far. And the ball goes toward the friggin' flag. Sean, I'm glad people didn't watch me. It was a complete catastrophe for about the first 2 hole. Remember when we had den caddies? You know how many balls you can put in a den caddy? You've hit a few of them. So it's one of those things that you can kind of train yourself to do on just little less than full shots. So club's back on, upside down, and you look at the club face and see it, and then you can look at a ball and go. And when I would do it, I went, obviously that's better. It felt better than this, which when I was spinning it into the ground. Yeah. So you have to do all kinds of things to make this move go straight. But if you do this correctly, it kind of on its own has height and straightness. So there's no way that you can be too tall at the finish. Like as you do this move with your body better through the ball, this is what I see. Like, from the angle I'm looking at, I see this was little old man showing when he came in, and now, right? Just almost like those guys do that so hard with a driver, they're airborne, right? And that's why everybody's left foot's floating now, because they're swinging so damn hard, right? This company that we're doing this with, Funnel Golf, that's the name of the company. We have a couple podcasts, and one of the podcasts, me and my co-host, Sam Osborne, who played for a living for 14 years in Europe, we talked about this rollback, and they're going to have to do it. This generation, they don't do it now. I think they're a little scared because of Live, and then, some of these sponsors are dropping out. They're a little nervous. But I'm telling you, Kyle Traub, I teach Kyle, he did driver 9-iron in the hole on 14 and made double eagle at the state. Now, he's a long hitter. He's not the longest hitter on the PGA Tour. He wouldn't be maybe the 25th longest hitter on the PGA Tour. That means there's 25 guys with a wedge on a 560-yard par. Now, granted, it was probably downwind, but it wasn't hard because it rained so much that week. So let's see it. That was better. Getting tall at the finish, trying to Spider-Man that left hand, trying to pretend Manzella's back here giving you the business.
Okay.
Yeah. One of these days I'm going to get strong and I'm going to be able to really help somebody like you. That
felt good.
That's starting to look like golf, man.
That felt
really solid. Starting to look at that. Look at that shot right there. So 1 foot 9 inches offline, 98 foot high, and just perfect draw numbers, right? 1.8 inside out.
I mean, and I looked like I am swinging a golf club. I didn't look like hunched over.
The little old man guy. Let's see. I kind of have to agree with you.
Are you able to put that finish up against the first finish?
Oh yeah. Hey, babes, we got all kind of technology. First of all, that's really good right there. So look at that. Let's go back here to. Okay, so that's the swing. Now, granted, the angles are a little bit different, but look at like your head's chasing your elbow, and look at that right there. So the through the ball is just way better. And then from the down the lines.
Maybe I just needed an adjustment. You just.
Oh, well, there's no. Look at, hey man, let me tell you the job that isn't going away anytime soon. Watch this. Look at this is interesting, right? The club and your arms look different. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you why. Because your upper body was so far forward, like the guy in Caddyshack, that's a peach. Right? But look at your hands to your head, right?
Yeah.
Now, high back chest, you can get your hands further away, and the finish looks different with your less wrinkles in the upper back. There's only one problem: 18 holes. You got to be able to do it more than once.
Was the numbers on the TrackMan?
Oh no, you can't. You're not going to get better. You're not going to get better numbers than that. So, you got 3.8 down, perfect amount down. You were hitting down on it too much. Well, why? You were like this. So less down on it. 1.8 with a 0.9. So when you look at TrackMan numbers, if you outside in or inside out, if you want the ball to basically hit the target line, you want to split the difference. So the path of the club head went 1.8 to the right, and the face was 0.9 to the right, half of that. So it was close to the path, but it was still open to the target. So the ball's going to start with that club like 80% toward the face, and it's going to draw toward the target. So it drew 7 feet, and it landed 1 foot 9 inches to the right. So we do the easy Chalmette math here and go, the ball started 8 foot 9 inches to the right of the target. Pretty straight, but still to the right. Drew 7 feet and landed 1 foot 9 inches away. Now this side total, TrackMan's giving you, like if you were here at St. Andrews and the ball landed in the fairway, that's where it would have went. Mm-hmm. But I bet on a golf course, a 98-foot high, shot would have a little spin on it, mm-hmm. and that ball might have even crabbed in the hole. You got your own double eagle. Say, hey Kyle, I got one too. You ever made a double eagle? Mm-mm. I made one. And of all courses, Chateau.
Yeah?
Yeah, that little par 5 in the back nine is kind of surrounded by water.
14?
Yeah.
Nice.
Knocked the 3-wood.
Yeah.
Not a high percentage shot.
Yeah, no.
All right, let's see it again. I'm going to give you the little encouragement right here before you hit it.
Okay.
It's like this, like that. There you go. Very good. Because I'm a glutton for punishment.
I don't know why.
What kind of driver is that?
Wilson. You know, I know some of the tour guys and stuff, so I get this from them.
Going to be at the U.S. Open, and my buddy is going to be behind the ropes with Mr. Wilson. My best friend, Mike Jacobs, he teaches Harrington.
Nice.
You low tee or high tee?
I like high.
Okay. I got a left dash. You ever try that ball? Titleist left dash?
Yeah.
Hard as my head and good. Not like me, hard as my head and not good. That ball is really good. So go to the top, all the way to the top, coming down, slow motion, $6 million man. Here, coming in, go ahead, go toward the ball. You gotta stay in there. There you go. That's it right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 worn out old guys. Ball's hit a little bit. A little toey, right? But 297 on a toey. Like the top. Top better with the driver. Right on the track. Get your tailbone to the ball. You did a good job of that. You're not letting it pull you. It's a little tug of war right here, right? That club, once that club gets some speed, so it's really getting speed like right here. You have to just go, stay away, stay away, stay away, stay away. You know, like otherwise it'll pull you wherever it's going, you know. That was excellent.
Again?
Yeah. Pose on this side of the ball. Go through. Keep, you can look at keep your chest away from your hands.
Okay.
Because it's trying to, it's one of the best things to train this? Nobody. I tell people stuff that I know they're not going to do. You're not going to do this, but maybe somebody watching the show. Now, if you do this, folks, go to some ball field with no humans on it and no animals. Bugs? Sorry, bugs, right? Serious. Get a club like a 3-iron. You could probably go to any golf shop and buy one cheap because people don't use them anymore. They're really good players. Make sure the grip isn't so old that part of it will come off in your hand. And then go out. I'll do it toward the screen. You stay right there, Sean. And just practice throwing it as far as you can. Helicopter, set up like a golfer, hold the club, a little bit off the ground, and then just make a golf backswing and stand up and just throw the crud out of it. You cannot chase it. It'll hit the freaking ground right there in the shell, break in half. If you want to launch it like on a 45 and watch it fly like a helicopter, you got to. But even if you don't practice doing it, that's the picture, right? The picture is, what would I do through the ball if I just wanted to throw this driver? I'd stay back. That's the sensation.
What do you want it to look like when it's flying? You want it to fly straight?
Oh, the helicopter. Oh,
like
yeah.
this?
No, if you can make it go straight, yeah.
That's
I
what,
threw one on that green from the front of that tee. So I think that's like 70 yards. That's pretty good. That first green at English Turn on the right on the range. So it's a like fling your arms and just let the thing go and stay away from it with your upper body. That's basically the idea. It's pretty good. So I don't mind the right.
that's easy to fix.
Yeah,
huh?
that's easy to fix. Yeah, for you, it's super easy to fix. So I just need one. Got it for the folks, all the folks around the world watching this show. You got to give them one 300-yarder. You had a 297 and a 2. You got to give them one. You got the right ball to go far right here. Got the left dash. Your swing's getting better. You're all warmed up. Time for the gun show. .66. That's done it easy. 307, and look at the time it stopped rolling, 2 foot and 4 inches offline. Good job, buddy. Great to see you.
You too.
Tell those kids I said, hey, Uncle Brian says, hey.
Oh, well, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. One of the great things about teaching golf and playing golf is the people you meet. And I've been very fortunate to work with a lot of talented players like Sean Hillis in our first segment of today's show. But let me tell you, one of the things that really makes it easier if you want to get better at teaching or playing, find you a really good facility where, like English Turn right here, and the golf course is so good, we can hit all kinds of shots, and this knowledge that you wind up getting at being at a place that's so varied around the greens and gives you such good lines off the tee is you can take your game anywhere or your students' game anywhere from a place like this. Got 3 clubs with me here on the 13th green at English Turn. It's an interesting green. It's sort of a figure 8 kind of shape. It's what they call a saddle green. Like if you look at it from the side, like looking at a saddle, it's got high, low, and back to high again. So when you're playing shots around the green at whatever golf course you're playing, even shots that seem really straightforward. I got a little grass here, it's not much rough. I've got some less fluffy stuff. I've got fringe, green, and a little side bank here to help me if I hit the ball out to the right. You would think you would just stand up here and just hit a normal wedge shot, and you know what? Most tour players probably would. Just a plain old vanilla sand wedge shot you got to tap in. There's a lot of things that can go wrong with that shot, a lot. So the next option, right, would be taking an 8-iron or something like that. This is a 6. I like to, if I'm going to roll the ball, I want something that's going to roll for sure, not going to stop. And you could play a lot easier to execute little shot where all you had to do is brush the grass and give it a little pop, and it's kind of like a putt and it'll roll down there. But if you go play golf with me one of these days, then what I'm going to do a lot of times from right here is I'm going to use a hybrid. So my favorite hybrid, and I've been doing this with hybrids since, you know, Buck was a calf, as they say. This is about a 6-year-old Callaway Rogue 5 hybrid. It's got 24 degrees aloft. What that does, it sort of guarantees that the ball's not going to just, I'm not going to take a putter out. It's not going to get out of this grass. And then I can it's almost the same oomph as if I was putting and this was all putting green. And all I have to do is make a couple practice swings just to kind of get a feel for, okay, this is how much I got to. And everybody says, oh, you use your putting stroke. No, look, this is my putting stroke. That's not going to have enough pop. You got to make kind of a long, lazy swing with a little wrist pop at the end. Now, how hard a wrist pop do I need? That's important information. And it wasn't the best one. I kind of mini, stabbed at it a little bit. That's the point, right? The point is, on a 6 out of 10 with this 5 hybrid, I scared the hole and I got about an 8-footer coming back. So when you're playing 18 holes of golf and you're putting a number on the scorecard every time, you got to try to plot your strategy. You don't need to hit any high maintenance shots from right here. Most people are going to take 3 shots average from here. Who's most people? 10 handicapper to 25 handicapper. They're going to take 3.5 shots from here. If you get to where you're pretty good at chipping with this 5 hybrid, you're going to average 3 because I'm not 3-putting that 8-footer right there. But if I hit the wedge, I could fat it, I could stick the club in the ground, I could blade it across the green. None of those things are going to happen with this 5 hybrid. Got my 3 clubs again. Got a little different situation. I've got some much thicker grass. I got some fluffy but well-maintained grass right by my ball. I got some much thicker rough in between me and the green. And then I've got a loop-de-doop little swale from the bunker that if the ball landed in there, let's say if this was all cut low, we might kick in the bunker. Then it goes the other way up by the hole. In other words, I'm in a heap of trouble. So basically what I need to do is I need to hit some sort of elevated shot. So this hybrid ain't gonna do me any good here unless I was going this way. Same thing with the 6 or 8 or whatever iron you're gonna do. So you gotta hit basically a lob shot. For whatever reason, I got some guesses, the lob shot has almost completely gone away on tours. Just seems like every shot they hit is some sort of, hit down on it and try to get the ball to spin. And that's a reasonable shot for me, not even catching it any kind of way clean. For folks who are trying to get better at golf, that are watching this game to up their golf intelligence, don't be scared of lob shots. They're easy. So what makes a shot a lob shot? If I was playing a standard full 60-degree wedge, or if I was playing that shot I just hit, I would hit the ball on the way down with a little bit of forward lean and shaft, and I would try to hit down on the ball and sort of like a mini version of what I would do if I was hitting an 80-yard 60-degree wedge. But if I'm going to try to hit a lob shot here, none of that is important. The first thing that's important is how much fluff there is around the ball, because more or less what you're going to try to do is slide the club somewhat under the ball. Not completely, because if you get enough grass and you try to slide it enough, you're going to go completely under the ball is still going to be sitting there. I've seen McElroy do it. Everybody's done that, in higher grass. But this, I got enough fluff, and I'm probably not going to go under it. So now I've assessed this lie. I know what I got. I can get under. I'm probably not going to get too much under. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the club shorter. This is tall with it square. If I open it and lay it flat, and I might have to lower the whole shaft to do that, I can make this club, half or less than half as tall. So getting something skinny under this golf ball is much easier than if I went this way. I'm going to hit the ball high up the face and it's not really going to lob. So lay the face flat on the ground, lower the handle a little bit, and then figure out how much spin you think you need to stop it. You're not going to need that much, but I like to cut across the ball a little bit because I make better contact that way. But you don't have to. Lots of players on tour now are doing this inside out sort of semi-lob shots and sand shots. So you could aim pretty straight, or you could aim like me a little bit left. But the main thing is you got to maintain this open face and maintain the low hands to get this shallow club to go underneath this ball. And how are you going to do that after you lay it flat and hold the shaft lower is you're probably going to grip it with the club somewhat open. And then what I like to do, saw Ernie Els do this right on this golf course years ago, spin the club open, literally take the shaft and spin it open. The face would be looking right at me. Hello, face, right? Now that club is look how open the club is. It wouldn't even hit the ball. So I got some amount of kind of natural closing, and I still have an open face. Now, the trick is when you hit this shot, see I got a little wind in my face now, how hard do you hit it? A lot harder than you think. That would probably go 40 yards if I was hitting a normal shot. Lay it flat, spin it open, make a pretty full swing, pop it up in the air. That'll work any place. It works Shinnecock, Pond Valley. I've tried it out everywhere. And that's a lob shot. It's really not that much to it. In a perfect scenario, I would recommend you don't take too much grass. But you have to sort of evaluate the lie. So like if we have a similar situation here, right, where, let me drop it here. I got an interesting shot right here now. I got more grass, and then I have to make this decision. Do I absolutely stand on the side of this bunker and try to play a lob shot? Probably not. What I'd probably recommend people do is close the face, then you could stand on the edge and chop it with the closed face and hope it scuttles up on the green. But it doesn't mean you couldn't, if the ball was a little closer, play a shot that's like a lob shot from the side of this hill. You got to think about what you're doing though, right? You got to think about how much am I going to move in the sand? How much of a chance it is that I'm going to hit the ground behind the ball, because if I swing too far left, it might bounce over the ball. So you got a lot of factors when you're playing a shot like this. You better have some sort of like superior nerve to be blunt about it, or just have practiced it a lot. And I've practiced it a little back in my day, and I can tell you, I'm not looking forward to hitting it right now. So you can make your feet, whether the ball's in the bunker or out the bunker, you can work your feet in. You can't build a stance. You can't rake sand over. There was a gal in the U.S. Women's Open recently that did that. And the other thing is the lie angle is going to be so upright that when I hit a shot, the ball is probably going to go way left of where I think. That one didn't, because I hit it fat and it just kind of scuttled out. But at the end of the day, this isn't your best bet. Your best bet is going to be manufacture your best chance to not hit a bad shot. You don't want to make this into some sort of 5 from here. So there's the ball in the rough. I'm close to the bunker. If I just played a normal shot, I'd hit it 30 feet, close the face a little bit, down on the shaft. You can pop it out. Hopefully you got a friend's ball right there, but there's your shot. You start getting the ball above your feet, you start trying to play lob shots, the odds are against you and the strokes gained are going to go really bad. I don't know how many feet this is, but I'm going to try to take a shot for you. 10, 20, 30, almost 40 yards, like 35 yards, 100 foot, and maybe 10 feet off the green. So I got 90 foot of green to run with, and most people I know would flip a wedge up there and try to stop it. Not most people I know, but most people I know who play golf either for a living or they think they're good enough to do it one day. Some people might take an 8-iron or a 6-iron and run it the whole way. I did a famous video called The Rule of 12, where basically a 6-iron is going to roll out about 6 times as far as it flies. So that would be probably pretty close right there, a little downhill, or it would have been real good. But you know, the funny thing about hitting irons is there's still a little bitty sole and you can get them caught on the way to the ball. Not, my friend, the 5 hybrid. You just make your little long pitch motion, like if you're just pitching a wedge with just a little bit of pop in the wrist. And you can start reading this and thinking, well, you know, if I hit this the right speed, a little too hard, right, but really good. I think that 6-iron influenced me too much. And now I can dial in. I'm trying to use this little slope right here. Right, a lot better. Like they all went a little further than I thought. But the point is, the 6-iron, pretty good chance of scooting it down there, and then it's just a matter of how fast it is. Obviously, light colored grass, right, the green right here. If you look at the green, on the green, it's shiny, so it's down grain this way. It would be into the grain the other way, and if I was smarter than I am, I would have figured that out. But you can just see how much easier taking a low lofted iron like the 6-iron or a hybrid and playing this shot, live to play another day.